Welcome again to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister. And if you're not rolling yet, Nan, now's the time to put that record light on so we can record this little thing for others to see later. But it's August, and the theme this August is Inclusion in Action. And today's title is, Who Are We? Who the heck are we? Well, there is value in getting clear about our identities and who we are and who we think we are and how we demonstrate what we believe, how we follow our spiritual prompts, as well as follow what is logical for each one of us. And each one of us gets to decide. So individually and collectively, we are divine emanations of the awesome power of this creative energy that moves through everything. What are we bringing to the table? Who are we? Standing in our power and celebrating our identities and the identities of others is a gift. It also helps us foster inclusion. And this means even the people that don't agree with us or get along with us or understand us, and sometimes that can be a jagged pill to swallow, but at the same time, if we're going to coexist, we have to let people be who they are and maybe take a step back instead of trying to put them in a certain box, is to look at them for the God being that they are choosing to be. We are all emanations of the divine. The divine didn't make any spare extra parts. Each of us is playing a role that was to some degree predetermined how we would express, but it's always up to us individually. Each of us is a unique and at the same time, a unified field through various experiences and our identities and the mere fact that we are all alive together at the same time means that we get to dance together all at the same time. We are in a family together all at the same time. Sometimes you might say a very dysfunctionate family, but a family nonetheless. When we're clear about who we are, our various gifts, experiences, and identities, we can be more fully in life and show up in a way that allows others to move more freely and show up who they are as emanations of God, and that they, too, have come here to be. We can know more deeply about God and reveal an experience of inclusion in our lives and communities when we have a good self-awareness and awareness of others. Letting people be who they are allows us to be free to be who we are. Howard Thurman wrote, "There is something in every one of you that awaits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is only true guide and you will ever have. It is the only true guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, you will, all of your life, spend your days on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls." Boy, I can relate to that to a certain degree in my past life, sometimes even in this life. I find myself having strings pulled by an unknown force. Sometimes I know it all too well. So we are a multitude. Each person contains countless identities. Truly, every relationship that we have with someone is almost a different energy within our own self. We are hard to pin down or capture by any one identifier. We transform and have millions of experiences over the course of our lifespan. Or if you believe in multiple lifespans, that's a lot of experience. Sometimes we're conditioned to acknowledge pieces of our identity more prominently than other aspects of our life, either because the context in which we've been raised or the context we're presently living in favor certain identifiers. Sometimes it's because we've faced a serious threat due to others' biases and relationships to parts of who we are. See, we're shaped and molded by our experiences. But just because we had a heartbreak doesn't mean that we can't have a heart mend and move through that in grace and ease in a way that makes sense to us. We can sometimes also repress parts of who we are, or our relationship with our emotions, our history, our cultural identity, even our gender identity, our journey with mental health, etc. It's valuable to look at these things and begin to integrate and celebrate all that we are, the complete being that we have come here to be. We need to be gentle with ourselves and others when we're discovering these parts of ourselves that may be a little more tender, if you will, or that we may have been repressing. And also begin claiming and healing our unique journeys and identities. It's powerful to claim our identities and gifts. We are beloved and a blessing to this world, each and every one of us. So let's begin seeing ourselves more clearly. Maybe taking a step back and giving an extra moment to allow someone's energy to be complete, to really hear what they're saying, honor them for who they are, love them no matter what they say, because they are really us in form. When we see ourselves more clearly and can celebrate who we are, it often becomes easier with the help of a trusted friend or colleague or family member or spiritual community member, therapist, to begin to see where we might have picked up on some subconscious bias along the way that is influencing how we look at things. We as humans, because of how our brain works, tend towards categorizing people and experiences. And when we pair that with systems around us that promote and have historically promoted inequality and cultures of supremacy, we adopt some biases that we do not even know that we are adopting. And they don't serve us well in loving ourselves and others in a finally realized way. Our biases are sometimes apparent to us, but they're often hidden from our view, what we'd call the subconscious bias. When we begin to ask ourselves good questions about what we believe and assume about others and where those beliefs might have come from, we're taking an important step towards healing our subconscious bias. If something doesn't feel right, look at it. Look at it from all angles. Put yourself in someone else's shoes of why they might be feeling that way. Thomas Merton wrote, "The beginning of love is the will to let those we love be perfectly themselves, the resolution not to twist them to fit our image. If, in loving them, we do not love what they are, but only their potential likeness to ourselves, then we do not truly love them. We only love the reflection of ourselves we find in them. Ouch. Sometimes we have to really look at why we believe what we believe. And if we don't like it, we're free to change it. That's what I love about this teaching. It's a new thought, open at the top. If what we thought was the truth yesterday isn't our truth today, we can change it. So awareness is a tool. Self-awareness is an extraordinary tool in putting inclusion into action. Because when we become self-aware, there's a much greater opportunity for healing. Hearing our genuine truth, claiming our beauty and our power, and becoming aware of our subconscious biases so that we might understand how they play into our beliefs and our behaviors. It's difficult to change a behavior that we don't even know we have, but it is possible. Healing cannot happen without honest inquiry into the self. When we're willing to do this, it's an important step in building a practice of being aware of others and ultimately loving all people for exactly who they are. So in conclusion, let's bravely explore our identities in all their complexity and splendor. Let's look at what is asking for some healing in our lives. What's calling you forward for a healing? Let's kindly and boldly explore our subconscious biases together so we might learn from who we are, who our loved ones are. The work of coming to know and to love the self, and the work of coming to be able to actually see other people and love them for who they are, is truly divine work. It's not always easy, but it is something we must look at. It is the act of being awake to the truth that the soul of the universe is our soul too. And so it is. Well, it's time to follow our teaching and go into prayer. So if you'd like to close your eyes, take a soft focus on something in your environment, let's remember who we are, follow our teaching, and breathe. For I invite you to bring to the forefront of your conscious awareness of what you choose to believe the power of creation is to you. What is that power that guides the stars, that heals us, that reveals truth to us individually and collectively? There is something powerful going on that is animating this world of form. And we each get to choose what we believe, how we act. And it is from that deep belief that true healing can spring forth. I may not know what you are working with, but I know that the infinite does. So I invite the healing in right here and right now. I invite the solution in right here and right now. I invite the power of love right here and right now. Grateful for this time shared in this experience of manufacturing love. We give great thanks for this time together today. We love each other in such a beautiful way that we allow each other to be who we have come here to be, express exactly the way we choose, and love it. So I let go and I let God, releasing this into that living, loving God with love, thanksgiving, truth, and harmony. For I truly know it is already so, as we affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Well, it's time for our offertory, and I just wanted to really just thank everyone who continues to give. I know that it's a challenging time, and we're still doing it. We're still having a ball with it, and we're just grateful that everybody out there still shows up on Sunday, and soon we will be together again. It will happen. So it's time to find your donate button, and let's repeat our affirmation together, which says, I can see clearly that abundance and prosperity are my birthright and the birthright of others. I celebrate that with my gift. And so it is.